It's Jim Gordon here for SmallCapPower. We're at the VRIC conference in Vancouver. I'm delighted to have Chris Donaldson here. He is the Director of Corporate Development for Western Copper and Gold. And we should mention westerncopperandgold.com. We'll of course give that website out again at the very end. Chris, welcome to the table here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You're quite welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with an overview of the company for those that may not know of it.
Sure, Western Copper and Gold, very simple story. We've got one asset, which is the casino deposit, which is up in the Yukon, up in northern Canada. We've had it for about a dozen years now, and it's fairly well advanced. It's a large copper gold porphyry. We've finished off all of our drilling. We've done a full bankable feasibility study in 2013, and we've been permitting now for the last few years. A little over halfway, but still have a couple of years left on the permitting side. It's going well. And we're on one hand moving through permitting, and the other hand we're trying to bring in a partner to help us build out the project.
Take us through as well. Now you've been in that territory, that part of Canada for a dozen years now. Walk us through how you were brought to the casino project.
So Western Copper Gold is a spin-out of a Western Silver Corporation, which had a mine called Penasquito, which we basically did the same thing. We acquired it, did all the engineering on it, got it permitted, and we were acquired by Glamis Gold for $1.6 billion. Right. Gold Corp then bought out Glamis, and it's a producing mine. I think it's about 30% of Gold Corp are now Newmont Gold Corp going forward. So we're using the same model. We spun out of that. We merged with a company called Lumina Resources. It's a Ross Beatty project that's kind of moving its way through the system here. So we've had it about a dozen years, and we're getting to the point now. There's some interest. We've taken it about as far as we can go on the permitting side, and time is right now to bring in a partner.
You mentioned earlier before we went on the air about our Prime Minister, Mr. Trudeau, was in the Yukon recently and pledged dollars for infrastructure. Can you talk about how that assists and really comes to the benefit of you guys being up there?
Yeah, so last September, Trudeau came up to the Yukon and pledged about $350 million for what basically amounted to 3 road projects in the Yukon, one of which is the Casino Road. Okay. And it's called that. It's about a 200-kilometer access road. The government now is going to pay 100% of the first half
fabulous.
And 30% of our half. And my understanding is that the government's going to start building that road in the spring here. So obviously that helps our project to get access in there and to get some jobs in the community as well with the road building to happen.
And geographically, are we talking near Dawson City, near Whitehorse? Where are we talking?
You're about 350 kilometers north of Whitehorse. And about equidistant between Whitehorse and Dawson.
Okay. And so going forward in 2019, we're really just into the early stages of the new year. This is clearly your prime focus for this year and going forward.
Yeah, I mean, we have the one asset. We're focused on casino and bringing it forward. I mean, it's a large project, 18 million ounces of gold and 10 billion pounds of copper. So it's large as a gold mine and as a copper mine. Right. There are windows for these kind of projects to come to market. We've got a capex of about $2.5 billion. So it needs a large partner to bring it forward. We're thankful that we've seen some M&A happen recently and over the last year. Casino is unique in that it's economic, it's in a good jurisdiction, it's fairly well advanced, so we think we're checking all the boxes for an acquisition. So we're going to continue to move it ahead on the permitting side, doing some smart things on that, and look to bring in a partner.
Well, good news all around, and with the government stepping in with dollars to assist the area too, that's definitely a good thing. Looking at your website this morning, you guys are very active, so I would assume that if people have more questions or inquiries, they can find this out at westerncopperandgold.com.
That's right.
That's right. We've been talking with Chris Donaldson. He is the Director of Corporate Development at Western Copper and Gold. He's been talking to us about their casino project. Best of luck in 2019.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.